Hello, today is Saturday, the 20th day of December 2014. My name is Derek and welcome to this weekend's silver chart analysis video. And we're going to first look at the weekly and daily charts. Daily chart first, which is on the screen after we go through that segment. The next one will be doing further analysis within the US-Russian ruble comparison, but mainly the silver priced in rubles. And then we're going to finish it off within a college football bowl game on Boxing Day. And what a game that's going to be, because it is called the Bitcoin Bowl. And I want to go over a quote from a video from Sportsbookreview that I think is a really awesome quote. And of course, there'll be coarse language within it. Not of course, but there will be. Okay, so let's get started. And last week, price action was above this major high of a extremely volatile session, and its resistance thus established at around 17 2/5. I've been stating what I want is next step, a correction within this band. And on Monday, that's exactly what took place. Big red candle down, losing $1. Now, it's not usually a good sign when the next session has another big red day going well below the 18 average of lows, thus declining. Then you come back and you resist former support and break support. Keyword, and break support. And even well below 1540. But breaking below 1540, watch out. However, because of the nature of this volatile move, a correctionary period of this size and magnitude, you could say would be normal. And therefore, I'm going to play this as if it's in the 18 average of bands, and on established breakout, breaking 17.5, at that point, I'll be stating short-term resistance would now be 1869, and we should be developing a multi-month, definitely a multi-week pattern of higher highs and higher lows. But again, it needs to break through established resistance for there to be any conviction towards a bullish side on the short-term time frame, and breaking well below here for any bearish conviction, as the price action for the last couple months has been sideways in a range from 15 2/3 and about 17. Let's now move this on to the weekly time frame. Major support in at 19, tested several times on this breakout. Price action fell about $5 or so per ounce, a significant drop to say the least. Now we've had a couple of sessions stabilizing, if you want to use the word stabilizing, within this 18 average band. Step number one for the bullish breakout or reversal, band to go flatten out or go sideways. A couple more, 1 to 2 more weeks of staying in a range of the band, which is 1604, we'll say 16 to 17 and a quarter. Staying within that will make the band go sideways. Step number 2, establish resistance, which is highly favored now to come in at around 19 if that step even occurs. Step number 3 is either a major breakout, but more probable, come back towards a newly uprising band. And then, of course, when that comes into play and you get successful support breaking established resistance, at that point, you can then now consider the market to be a newly bullish market. But now, of course, still bearish, breaking down key support, as I stated in the daily time frame. Test most likely of the low 14 area, but very easily could break that as well. So that will be it for the silver in US dollars. Now let's take a look at it within the ruble. Last week I shown this chart in here, where price action came very close to the previous 2011 highs. And a breakout of established resistance at around 800 has had a major move towards the upside. It had, of course, a major correction back, now below, of course, Fibonacci 2. Normally, when a fiat currency collapses, what would occur within gold and silver prices is major up moves with extreme extreme volatility. Right now in this 14-day chart, volatility 64% with a median of 12%. So that would be that as an extreme, and it would only be getting started right now as far as the Russian ruble is concerned. What we're going to do is take a look at this chart again, but in a line graph chart in comparison with silver priced in US dollars. So we'll bring that up now. Here she comes. Blue is 2 pounds of silver, and red is 1 troy ounce of silver in the Russian ruble. Why did I take 2 pounds of silver versus 1 troy ounce? Because it's about you need about 30 troy ounces approximately for 2 pounds of silver, and therefore it used to be 30 rubles for 1 US dollar, but that's now 60. And so that we can draw a nice comparison. Everything's pretty much around the same in here. Yeah, a little bit higher here, but for what it's worth, close to the same. But things have changed within this point in here. Now, on the recent time frame, we can notice in here during this downtrend, this went sideways. And during this uptrend, this one went sideways. Again, whenever a currency collapses, gold and silver can only do one thing. On December the 26th this year, we're going to have a college football game, and a beautiful review was done by Sportsbookreview. The game will be NC State versus Central Florida on December the 26th. Now I want to quote Sportsbookreview host Peter Loshak. The dollar's going down, right? I don't know if it's going to be next week, next month, next year, or next decade, but the banking elite is fucking you. Fiat currency, we all know the deal. The dollar's going down at some point. The rich are fucking you. The banking elite is fucking you. You can, though, join the technological elite and get around it. How? Bitcoin's the ultimate in digital currency, end quote. And I enjoyed watching this video. I'll link the video in the more information box below within this video. But going through some very key components. It's going to be next week, next month, next year, next decade. I have shared and had this feeling now for about 2 years. Before that, it wasn't next decade. It was, it's going to happen within the year or two. But it's now been about 7 years since the information got huge on the internet regarding how fiat currency is created. And I figured then that the human species would not like this information and would demand something better. There was where I was wrong. However, I do notice throughout the years that more and more people are understanding it. Now, how Peter Loshak knew this, maybe he watched some of my videos. After all, I comment a lot on his videos. He replies back to some of my comments. Maybe he's watched some of my videos. Maybe he Google searched Bitcoin and then got the information that way. Maybe he just knows himself. I don't know. It just seems that more and more people are aware of this in comparison to the amount that knew this in 2008. And yeah, the banking system fucking you around. Now, personally, myself, I'm not a fan of Bitcoin, and I don't necessarily am that sure on a dollar collapse how Bitcoin's going to do, or how it would even do on a post-dollar collapse scenario. That's why what I believe, and what more so what I am doing is holding physical silver to hedge myself against the fiat currency collapse, which I expect to happen next week, next month, next year, or next decade. So thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a magnificent weekend. Bye-bye.